Good morning. Today we're going over test number 8, which is testing the gear slop, testing to make sure that you don't have any gear slop and how you can fix it. There are a lot of reasons that we would suggest running this test, one of which is you're just not getting accurate shapes. You would likely already have run through the squaring and leveling test. Let's go ahead and break into the gear slop. Easy way to test gear slop, folks. You turn on the control box. This enables all the motors. And I'll show you beforehand. I'm going to shut that off. Without enabling it, I should be able to just grab here, and with just a finger's pull of effort. Now, I have a terrible reference for finger pull of effort because, you know, some people are stronger than others, yada, yada, yada. So let's just say you're going to be able to pull it, and you may notice as you're pulling it that the motor's going to bind. That's just an extra charge being built up in the motor as you're moving it, because motors in this case are largely like inverse generators. So they're going to generate a current inside of the motor and lock it up. So you're going to have to lock up, pull, lock up, pull. It's inconsistencies in being able to pull this is a normal part of dealing with stepper motors on this. When they're off, you're not going to get an easy or even pull. Okay, so you should be able to move them up, down, left, right, what have you. Then you turn on the control box. Okay. And then I will attempt to pull here. And I shouldn't be seeing much movement at all, but you can tell here I may have a tiny bit of slop in there. Tiny bit. And what I would do is I'd unscrew these two here and these two on this side and pull this motor further against the gear track. I'll give you an example of this one. We can also take and pull this gear forward and backward, and if you listen, I have a little bit of gear slop here. So what I will do is I would then unscrew these two screws, and the motor is attached to this plate, and I would also undo these two screws, and I would push, and then I would reseat this gear against this plate. Against this track, and then reseat these screws back down so that it holds. And in that way, you shouldn't see any more slop across your system. So that is how we test for gear slop. We turn on the control box, and then we move the motors, or attempt to move the motors by hand, to see if we do have any give in there. And while it may be a 64th give, it does multiply as you start to work with the table. So check that out, and if you have questions, shoot us a call.